all over that. Is that blood on that towel, man?
Whoa. What was that, dude? What?
They say the darkest part of the forest isn't the shadows between the trees, it's what waits inside them. In these encounters, ordinary nights in the woods turned into something far more sinister. From whispered voices in the dark to figures caught just beyond the light, each moment was captured by those who thought they were alone. But the forest has a way of revealing things when you least expect it. Our first encounter comes from Franco TV, where an urban explorer returns to confront what he left behind. Deep beneath an abandoned facility lies a tunnel system that stretches into absolute darkness, a place where Franco had experienced something unsettling during a previous visit. The memories of strange laughter and shadowy movement at the tunnel's end had haunted him, drawing him back despite every instinct telling him to stay away. Armed with thermal equipment and a knife, he planned to document whatever lurked in those depths. He had no idea that something was already waiting for his return.
This place seems to be empty at the time, but I want to come here for one specific reason. The last time I was here, I found this underground tunnel that goes way deep into the bottom of under the whole facility. And the last time I was here, I saw something creepy at the end of the tunnel where it looked like it lifted up or something. Something was there. And what sounded like creepy laughing also occurring inside this tunnel. There was a lot of activity that was going on within this tunnel. This place is extremely creepy, and I want to take you guys in there. That being said, let's hope nobody's here and I don't get in trouble for being here, because this place is massive. And let's get into the video. I don't know what the hell that was. Sound like a gunshot. I'm in a weird part of town, but as you can see, this place looks quiet. I was just gonna say this whole place looks like it's dead, and then I just heard a gunshot. But there's absolutely nothing going on out here. And this is where I'm gonna be at. I know the picture's horrible. Let me get I don't really want to turn on my flashlight here. Let me get closer to the area and I'll turn on my flashlight. Listen. So I did leave. You hear it? I'm hearing knocking. So I have one night vision, but it's more like a static. Not really meant for what I used the other one for. But I am hearing what sounds like... It stopped. I already got chills just coming here. I just heard another noise. Okay. Oh, what the f***? I just got something in here. Listen. I'm hearing the pounding again, but it's deeper inside. You hear it? I think it wants me to go down in there. You want me to go inside? I could do that. Alright, I'm gonna go inside.
Franco barely made it to the facility's entrance before the activity began. The deep, rhythmic pounding that had plagued his previous visit resumed immediately, echoing from somewhere far below the surface. The sounds seemed deliberate, almost beckoning, as if whatever resided in the tunnels knew he had returned. Despite the unnerving welcome, Franco pressed forward into the facility, guided only by his flashlight beam cutting through the overwhelming darkness.
Hola? Is someone or something trying to get my attention? I'm not touching anything. Listen. Here, I'm gonna turn this light on here so you guys can see me a little bit. Literally, my mind is like fight or flight right now, like just to get the hell out of here. I don't know what it is. All right. This is gonna be awkward. Try not to rip any of my book bags. Something's moving down here. And basically it sounds loud because it's echoing from this huge metal bar here. You see this bar? I don't know how far up there it's echoing from, but it's making this whole thing vibrate. There's a lot of this random stuff. It looks like somebody came through here. Started opening things up. You see this? I don't remember any of this being open the last time I was here. I think somebody was coming in here to steal.
As Franco descended deeper into the facility, he discovered disturbing evidence of recent human intrusion. Electrical panels had been torn open, copper wiring exposed and partially removed. Clear signs that thieves had been systematically stripping valuable materials from the abandoned structure. The discovery added a new layer of danger to his investigation, as the possibility of encountering desperate criminals now competed with whatever paranormal forces might inhabit the tunnels. The banging sounds continued to echo from the depths, growing more insistent as Franco approached the tunnel entrance.
And I think that's because somebody was... I just heard like a big noise. It was very faint. I don't think you guys heard it. But I definitely heard something. Oh shit. Listen. I hear footsteps. What the Somebody's coming. Hola?
The investigation took a terrifying turn when Franco heard distinct footsteps echoing through the metal corridors. His fight-or-flight response kicked in immediately, and he drew his knife, preparing for a potential human encounter in the pitch-black tunnels.
I literally have my hand on my knife right now, just in case. There's somebody here? Hola? Literally heard it from right over here in the corner. Háblame. I'm still hearing noises. I just heard what sounded like somebody breathing. Yep, fuck it. I'm taking out the knife. Háblame. Yo tengo un arma. My life. I think there's somebody down here. Hola? Look. I saw that last time. What? Somebody's whistling. At the end of the tunnel. I'm trying to see if you guys can see it. Háblame. ¿Quién está allá? Talk to me. Who's there? What is your name? Hello? It's getting louder every time I get closer.
The footsteps seem to come from multiple directions, creating an atmosphere of being hunted rather than hunting, when whistling began emanating from the deepest part of the tunnel, the same location where he had witnessed the mysterious figure during his previous visit. Franco realized he was dealing with something far beyond ordinary trespassers.
I just heard another loud bang from back down here.
Our remains.
Our remains. Are your remains down here? I feel like there's something back there. I'm gonna switch into my thermal imaging camera. Whatever that is in the back is creepy. It looks like a big black shadow just kind of standing there, but it's in the other portal as well, so I don't think that's a ghost or some sort of paranormal activity going on, unless it disappears. Can you move? As I'm getting closer to you?
Franco switched to thermal imaging, hoping the technology would reveal what his eyes could not penetrate in the absolute darkness. The thermal camera immediately picked up unusual readings, small bright signatures that appeared and disappeared in the tunnel's depths. Cold spots registered throughout the area, and shadowy forms seemed to move just beyond the camera's range. The equipment that was meant to provide answers instead raised more disturbing questions about what was sharing the underground space with him.
That's happening back there. I just got some movement behind me. I don't know what that was, but I just heard movement. Something just fell. What the hell is that? I'm picking something up in the thermal. Hola? I just seen something on the thermal imaging, something small and kind of lit up, kind of white. Sorry if this camera's kind of shaky, it has no stabilization. Well, what is that? It's literally on the corner here. I'm gonna start making my way out of here. Just want to go back towards the front and get some air because I'm panicking down here. I keep hearing weird and now I'm hearing it from my only way out of here. And I saw something on thermal as well. Hola? Hola? Thing is, it's so pitch black down here. I can't see anything.
As panic overtook Franco, he began his retreat toward the surface, but the tunnel seemed reluctant to let him leave. The whistling grew more intense, and his thermal camera detected movement behind him as he fled. The video ends abruptly with what appears to be an encounter with unknown individuals, their voices cutting through Franco's terrified commentary. Whether these were the copper thieves he had feared, security personnel, or something else entirely, remains unclear as the footage cuts to black. The tunnel beneath the facility continues to echo with unanswered questions. Franco's equipment captured thermal readings that defied explanation, while the systematic stripping of copper suggests others have been drawn to this place for reasons both practical and unknown. In the absolute darkness below, something remains. Patient, persistent, and apparently unfinished with those who dare to investigate its domain. Our next encounter comes from paranormal investigator Cheesa Chad, who ventured alone into the shadows of Connecticut's Putnam State Park on a frigid winter night. This wasn't just any woodland exploration. It was a pilgrimage to one of America's most haunted Revolutionary War sites, where Continental soldiers endured the brutal winter of 1778 to 1779. Among the frozen encampments and crumbling foundations lies Phillips Cave, where legend tells of a soldier named Mr. Phillips who met his violent end at the hands of his own comrades, executed for stealing livestock to survive the merciless cold. Armed only with an EMF device and a flickering flashlight, Chad prepared to walk the same paths where desperate men once fought, died, and perhaps never truly left.
My name is Chad. Welcome back to another late night adventure with me, your boy, the Cheesa Chad. So I'm going to be walking through what's supposed to be a haunted park, like a forest. I'm out here all alone in the woods inside of this state park right now. So I am inside the Putnam State Park. This is a state park out here in Connecticut where Revolutionary War soldiers were camped out during the winters of 1778 and 1779. There's reports of ghosts being seen here in the woods, and there's a cave over here where a guy got shot. So I'm going to try and see if I can communicate with these guys tonight, and we're going to take a walk through the woods right now. If you haven't already, make sure you like and comment, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Let's get on this adventure. It's going to be a little crazy. I am alone, so let's see what happens. Let's go. I don't know what I'm in for here. Okay. Divided. Look. Is that what happened? Americans were divided? The Revolutionary War? I'm shaking because it's a little bit chilly. I don't know why I don't have my gloves on. I'm weird sometimes, but yeah, American is divided right now, I'll tell you that much. It ain't no good. This is pretty creepy. I think it's mostly just a trail, but I gotta be real careful. So basically, there's a story of this guy named Phillips, and it's called Phillips Cave, and he was in the cave, and the other people that were in the camp were upset that he was shooting and killing their stock and using it as food to survive, so they came one day and just shot him in the cave.
Chad stepped into the suffocating darkness of Putnam State Park, his EMF device immediately crackling to life as he navigated the treacherous forest trails. The device's first cryptic response came quickly, divided, as he explained the historical tensions that once tore through these very woods. His breath formed ghostly clouds in the frigid air as he discovered what appeared to be ancient campfire rings. Moving deeper into the haunted landscape, Chad stumbled upon the first historical marker revealing the officers' quarters chimney remains from 1890.
At nighttime is a little bit creepy. I will mention that. But we ain't never scared. Oh. Oh, what is this? Officers' quarters? Chimney remains the mark of the site. Company officer's hut. Built in 1890. Several other firebacks of the junior officer hut remains in the woods behind the enlisted men's hut line. Me?
Simple.
Who's me?
His EMF device began responding with increasing intensity, displaying the word "me" repeatedly, as if something was trying to identify itself in the darkness. The investigator's nerves were clearly fraying as he mistook shadows for threats, but he pressed forward through the maze of memorial markers scattered throughout the park. The moment Chad had been searching for finally arrived when he discovered the weathered sign marking Phillips Cave. The historical placard confirmed the soldier's tragic fate, permanently removed by his fellow troops for stealing food to survive.
Marked out all over the place. Oh, Phillips Cave. Here it is. Shallow cave in this rock was used by Mr. Phillips, who was a soldier, returned to the war to live in this cave. Liberating an occasional chicken or produce from local farmers. Another version said he was permanently removed. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he was shot to death. Whoa, look. I came here just to go to Phillips Cave to see if I could speak to him, and it says not do. Like, do not do it. Do not do it. Well, I'm gonna do it. This is it right here, you guys. This is it. This is Phillips Cave right here. Looks like a little stairway.
As Chad approached the rocky alcove where Phillips had made his final stand, his EMF device delivered a chilling warning. Do not do it. Despite the ominous message, he climbed the stone steps leading to the cave entrance, determined to make contact with the spirit of the murdered soldier.
Okay.
Enemy. Bell.
Whoa. Enemy? I'm still at the cave. Enemy? They were your enemies that shot you. Right, Mr. Phillips? They were your enemies. Otherwise, they wouldn't have shot you and they would have been on your side. Anybody want to join me out here tonight? Anybody feel like?
The EMF device responded with haunting clarity, displaying enemy as Chad asked about the men who had shot Phillips in this very spot. Chad's respectful tone seemed to encourage further responses, with the device later showing candle and smell, possibly referencing the soldiers' primitive living conditions in the cave.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many words are in there, but there's always different words, man, and it relates to a lot of the things that could have happened in each spot that I'm at. Oh, look at this. Check this out, you guys. Officers' quarters. How cool is that? How cool is that? Look, structure reconstructed 1890. Foundations of the 1778 building. Oh, let me get closer. Officers' barracks. Recent information. The camp magazine held kegs of gunpowder for the troop quarters. Yo, that's cool. Look at this thing, you guys. Look at that. That's freaking cool as hell. Look, it's like all construct. It has stone on the outside. Oh, I tripped over a rock. What does it look like on the inside?
Chad's investigation led him to a reconstructed officer's quarters, a stone structure built in 1890, on the foundation of the original 1778 building. The historical significance wasn't lost on him as he examined the wooden beams and stone walls, imagining the harsh conditions the officers had endured during those brutal winter months. His EMF device continued its cryptic communications, offering glimpses into a past that refused to remain buried.
Look, it says up. I'm going up the hill. What's up?
Idle. Roadway.
This kind of is an idle
Palace.
roadway, a little bit. Idle roadway. I don't know if that relates to anything here, but it's sort of like a path. You're angry? You're angry at me? Are you angry because you passed away in the war? Why are you angry? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, look, walking along the path still. I said, why are you angry? And it said, remember, cellar. I don't know what that means. You remember being in a cellar? Did they put you in a cellar somewhere? And you're mad because you remember it, you don't like it. I'm trying to figure out.
The atmosphere grew increasingly hostile as Chad's EMF device began displaying disturbing messages. First came angry, followed by remember cellar, as if an agitated spirit was recalling traumatic memories of confinement or punishment. The device's responses became more menacing, eventually showing hell in stark letters. Chad's unease was palpable as he tried to understand what force was communicating with him through the electronic medium.
Dude. You've heard that, right? Look. Hell. It says hell. And the way it said hell. Look, Debbie. It said guy and girl before. Now it says Debbie. Hell. What the hell? Okay. Something's... I don't know. What section of the park do we got here? Cemetery / command officer's quarters. 2 mounds of stones inside the square formed by the granite posts, thought to be the camp cemetery. Double-ended officers' quarters. Further research. Distinct probability the hut belonged to Lieutenant Colonel Henry Dearborn. So there's a little trail that goes here. Yeah, I guess they thought this might be a cemetery here. Oh, cool. So there's like a little memorial. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. Think about how old this is. Hundreds of years old. Standing here, right here where this cemetery was, apparently. Whoa. Oh, that scared me. That must have been a branch just falling. Alright. Whoa. What was that, dude? Dude, there's nothing around here that would even possibly make a loud noise like that right now at this time of the night. There's nothing. Was that a gunshot or something? So you guys, it's called a residual haunting. So residual haunting is basically when you hear memories of the past and it keeps playing. Oh, I think I just heard another one. Okay, I don't know what that is, dude. There's nothing here. I don't know what could be making them.
Chad discovered what historians believe to be the camp cemetery, marked by granite posts and stone mounds, where fallen soldiers were thought to be buried. As he stood among the graves, the night suddenly erupted with inexplicably loud sounds. Sharp reports that echoed through the forest like gunshots. Chad froze, recognizing that nothing in the modern park could produce such violent noise. He theorized about residual hauntings, where traumatic events replay like echoes from the past, potentially hearing the very sounds of Philip's execution reverberating through time. The investigation concluded as Chad made his way back to the park's entrance, passing a historical cannon that stood as a silent sentinel to the site's Revolutionary War legacy. Though he had gathered compelling evidence through his EMF communications and experienced unexplained auditory phenomena, Chad's departure felt more like an escape than a planned conclusion. The park's darkness seemed to follow him as he signed off, promising to return for more solo nighttime investigations. Our next encounter comes from the channel Exploring with Bear, where two investigators venture into one of Ohio's most notorious locations for an overnight stay. Helltown's reputation precedes it, a place where legends of cults, sacrifices, and supernatural entities converge in the shadowed remains of an abandoned barn deep in the forest. The investigators planned to document whatever lurked in the darkness, but they had no idea that someone or something might have been there before them.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, was I blinding you?
We made it to the curve here, up at the end, and all you heard was a bunch of coyotes just getting tore up by something.
I just mentioned on camera, have you ever heard of the Wendigo?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be like one of the big things around
We've been
here.
seeing stuff all night. I have a tendency to bring stuff out. So
Do you? And
yes,
we're
I
like
do.
going in right after you.
Yes, I do. So we were on the opposite end,
Sweet.
and we had a tree, a full tree, snapped right in front of us and then vanished.
Was you guys trying to make it back to the satanic barn there?
Yeah, we were actually.
That's
Did you
the
make
one-
it? Oh, you
No.
didn't make it though,
That's
huh?
where the- I
With
think
those
that's where
packs.
the coyotes are at.
And they were getting mauled by something.
Yeah, something. They were in pain. They were.
Oh my
dying,
goodness.
man.
All right. Jakey, what do you think, man? All right, you guys have a safe night, and thanks for that. That just made this so much more terrifying. Hey, you guys have a good night.
The night took an ominous turn before they even reached their destination. At the forest's edge, they encountered a couple who had driven 3.5 hours to experience the infamous haunted barn for themselves. But something had gone terribly wrong. The visitors spoke of coyotes being mauled by an unknown predator, their distressed cries echoing through the trees. Whatever force was responsible had so thoroughly unnerved the couple that they abandoned their journey entirely, turning back without ever reaching the barn. As the investigators watched the frightened pair disappear into the night, they faced a chilling realization. They were about to venture toward the very sounds that had driven others away.
Let's see if we can spot any eyes out in the field. One night we was able to spot them stalking us. What's that? That's still wet?
Yeah. That goes there. That's what they use.
Yeah, so they were using that. They were painting something. Maybe this over. Others? Look at that, wait.
Inside the barn's basement, the investigators made a discovery that sent ice through their veins. Wet paint covered surfaces throughout the abandoned structure. Paint that was still drying, still fresh to the touch. The implications were unmistakable. Someone had been there recently. Very recently. The basement, which had been filled with discarded clothing and shoes during previous visits, now stood eerily empty, as if cleared out in preparation for something. The investigators realized they might not be alone in their midnight exploration of this cursed place.
You wonder how... Oh, why am I... That's only got one thing on it. Oh my goodness. I can't be using this now. We're going to need that for the walk, man. Jakey, hold on, man.
What is that?
I don't know, but look, there's...
That's...
all over that... Is that blood on that towel, man? That's blood, man. Whoa. No way.
Yeah.
Hey, that's still wet. Come on. You okay? You okay? Hey, take your time. Take your time. Keep that light out in front of us. Wait a minute. Man, there's somebody around here, dude. What was it? Could that have been an animal? What did it just say? It just said F you. It just said F you. That's only ever said that to me twice, and that's been at the barn. I'm telling you, man. I promise you, that's the only 2 times this thing has ever cussed at me like that.
The basement revealed its most disturbing secret when they ventured deeper into its shadows. Among the debris and burnt flooring, they discovered what appeared to be blood-stained cloth. The stains, still wet and dark. As they processed this horrifying find, their spirit communication device began responding with increasingly hostile messages. The entity they had contacted before grew aggressive, spitting profanity and malevolent words, a behavior the device had only exhibited twice before, both times in this very barn. The investigators' physical reactions intensified as every muscle in their bodies tensed, their hearts racing as an oppressive presence seemed to close in around them.
Here, I'm gonna go first. Oh, hey, those people said it sounded like something was getting ate or torn. They said it sounded like coyotes were dying. You all right, Jakey? Man. Dominant says my chest is tight right now. Like every muscle in my body is tight right now. We gotta get back to the truck, man. Who? Just go. Oh, look at that moon. It's like a blood moon. It's a blood moon too. Here, hold my flag. Here, turn it off actually. Let me see if I can get that.
As they emerged from the basement's suffocating atmosphere, the investigators looked up to witness a sight that perfectly captured the night's sinister energy. A blood moon hung in the sky above them, its crimson glow casting an otherworldly light over the forest. The timing felt deliberate, as if the celestial event was connected to whatever dark forces they had encountered below. Their spirit device continued its ominous communications, declaring them accepted and wicked as they stood beneath the blood-red lunar presence that seemed to seal their fate. The investigators retreat to their truck as the witching hour approaches, but questions linger in the darkness around them. The wet paint, the blood-stained cloth, the hostile spiritual communications, all point to recent activity in a place that should have been long abandoned. Whatever drove those coyotes to their fate, whatever force sent the previous visitors fleeing in terror, remains active in Helltown's shadows. And, as the blood moon continues its vigil overhead, one can't help but wonder if some invitations, once extended by the darkness, can ever truly be declined. Sometimes the scariest part isn't the ghosts. It's the very real possibility that you're not alone out there in the darkness. Next time you hear branches cracking in a dark forest, just remember, that sound behind you, it might not be your imagination after all. If you want to hear more true encounters from the dark, make sure to like, comment what you would have done in their place, and subscribe. That is, if you're brave enough.